still doing that 4 or 5 times a week. It's one of my hobbies. One of my other hobbies that I eventually, when I have more time, I'll get back to is probably my painting. I haven't done much of any paintings for a while, so I'm hoping to find a nice picture that I would like to paint for a portrait. So.
Ed, what is your biggest pet peeve?
My biggest pet peeve. There are so many, I can't really. I'll confine it to my home life, okay? One of my pet peeves is when I'm cooking supper, which I do occasionally on the weekends and for big holidays. But the holidays are not my pet peeve, but the regular meal times when I'm preparing the food and I call my wife and daughters to the table and they don't come when they're supposed to come. Well, the reason that's a pet peeve for me is when I was courting my wife and we were courting each other, I guess, we would go out to eat. And my wife, Kathy, my friend, girlfriend, fiance at the time, would always complain that the food was always cold. So, but then on this, at home now, when I'm cooking and I put the hot food on the table, they don't come. So that's for now, that's the biggest pet peeve I can think of. Anyway, that I can speak about in this mixed company.
Joan, do you have any phobias? And if so, which is your biggest phobia?
I do. Thank you. Hello, Toastmasters and welcome guests. I have phobias about heights. I mean, there was a time I prayed all the way through coming over this little bridge. And when I would take my children to the Cape, to Maine, I had to go on the Tobin Bridge. And my mom and my older daughter would say to me, "Oh, look, if you look at the cars, they look very small." and that would like, I would like, "Whoa, stop, don't talk to me. I'm going over this bridge." So my phobias are heights, big bridges, and I can't tell when last I was on the Tobin Bridge. I dislike the Tobin Bridge so much. So that's it.
And question for John Sullivan. What artistic medium do you use to express yourself?
What artistic?
Medium do you use to express yourself?
Are you an artist?
I'm not.
Thank you, Tim. Toastmasters and welcome guests. I think one guest already I scared off, but the artistic medium. Well, I've mentioned that I like to write, and that's mainly the artistic medium. But I think also going along with your table topic, it's Paul, right? Yeah. Paul. Looking for ways to have fun. I was thinking of one way to have fun is to do jumping jacks incorrectly. That's one way to have fun.
Is that fun?
I do them, but I have a sore foot.
I guess that's your idea of fun.
Well, I mean, if you really do them incorrectly.
Everybody has their own ideas of what's fun, I guess. So,
But going along with what John said also, I'm unemployed also. And we had a big collection at church for the fuel the fuel was twice as much as it was the year before, so we all heard about it a couple times. And I said, well, I'm gonna really dig down deep. And I gave $12. $5 for one, or $6 for one, and was it $11 actually, $11. And so, not that it was a good omen, but I'm walking home a few days later, and I thought about it over the last day or two after I gave that money. I said, you know, I really shouldn't have given that. It's just too much. So, sure enough, I get to the intersection, and there's a $5 bill on the top of the snowbank, just bundled up and fluttering around, and it's a windy day. And I'm figuring, well, it must be the fellow at the gas station must have lost his cash, because I've worked at a gas station before, and I've lost the cash. Not the entire bundle, but there was a problem at the end of the day. And so I looked left and right, and I said, I'm not running around to these different gas stations and asking these guys, you know, did you lose money? And how much did you lose? No, I just took the money. And so I continued walking home. And I walked all the way around to getting to Granite Street. Some of you may not know where that is, but that's where the Rite Aid and the Fruit Basket and the Boston Market is. There were dollar bills in the snow. So one here and one there. I'm like, oh, this is really getting to be different. And I took them because there was no one around. And so I did end up giving one back, but to someone at Park Street. But I guess what goes around does come around, and things happen for a reason again.
And for the Toastmaster of the day, I did not forget, Craig. What do you like to do in your free time?
Tim. You don't have any children. What do I like to do with my free time? Well, her name's Emma and Caitlin. She's 5 and 3, so that pretty much monopolizes all my free time, right? I come home from work around 6:30 to 7:30, feed them, put them to bed, 8 o'clock. So all of a sudden 8 o'clock comes around, and that's really when my free time starts. So what do I like to do? My wife complains that I watch entirely too much sports, right? So I guess I watch a lot of sports. Don't read as much as I should. But really what I like to do in my free time is to find change. I think we talked a little bit about that. And so it's times like these where I'm like, just throw a complete curveball at everything, and I tell my wife, Jennifer is her name, I'm like, I'm leaving. Not you, just tonight for an hour and a half, and I'm going to do Toastmasters. Right? That's what I want to do with my free time. So just find little pockets of change, not the change that you talked about that stays on the snow, right? Just little pockets of change is what I like to do with my free time.
Yes.
There you go.
You guys have any questions for me?
Tim, I'd like to ask about your work as an architect. I presume you had to study a lot of different architects before you attained your position. Do you have any favorite classical architects? Or, and I say, not necessarily classical, but American of the last 150 years. Who do you think, who are the top in your mind?
Right off the top of my head, I would say,
And which particular buildings? If you could name one or two of your favorites.
so I grew up in Chicago, and I think growing up in the Windy City, that was my main inspiration to pursue architecture because of the beautiful skyscrapers and all the well-known architects that moved there from Europe, like Mies van der Rohe, and then you have local architects like Louis Sullivan, Frank Lloyd Wright. But I think growing up, what really caught my attention, the main architect that I really looked up to was Frank Lloyd Wright, because I lived in a town called Berwyn. It was right next to Oak Park, and he had designed some houses there in Oak Park, and so I had the chance to visit his houses and go inside and then just sketch like the interior space, and then go outside and sketch the exterior, and it really just caught my, it really just, I guess, became part of it. Like how did he design such, great houses with fine detail, and how can he come up with all these great designs for people, and think about how to make people live comfortably. And so that really kind of just, it gave me a realization, like that's something that I wanted to pursue, like architecture, and to be able to design houses and buildings for people. And so that pretty much is what stuck with me, like ever since I was in elementary school. And so I wanted to become an architect since elementary school, and here I am now in Boston, practicing architecture. And so I would say all because of having lived in a city where there were a lot of great architects that established themselves there. And so that's one of my great inspirations. Thank you.
Good questions, Tim. Pop question for you. Do you know why it's called the Windy City?
Because it's windy.
No, you have to go do your homework. It's not the answer.
Oh, really?
All the politicians, all they used to do is yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Windy City.
Ah, I never knew that.
Nice talk.
There you go. So time for wrap.